So in the previous video, I kind of just touched on the iPhone 16 the same way I touched on the PS5 Pro, and kind of just going over the issues it had with rollout since it's out now. And apparently the main selling point, which was the artificial intelligence features and different things you could use in the new phones that, were supposed to come with it, they haven't even been released yet. Those things are going to come out with a later update. So just real quick, there was, I guess you say news, a little bit of an article, if you want to say that, that said that apparently the iPhone 16 isn't selling so well. And I just wanted to go over just a few of those key points. It won't be long at all. Basically, just to show what has happened to the sales of the iPhone 16 ever since its release, but also us finding out that the main thing, the main features that were supposed to come with the iPhone 16, we didn't get. So what's happened in response? Because it did come out a little while ago. So initially, the iPhone 16 sold around 37 million units during its first weekend, which marks a 12% decrease compared to the iPhone 15 launch. That I didn't know. While Apple saw growth for the standard iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Plus models, the higher-end Pro and Pro Max versions apparently have struggled. They're not doing so hot, and it's raising concerns about consumer interest in those more premium models. So the Pros and the Pro Maxes, they're starting to think that we don't really care about those models anymore. I'm sure for some people they don't care, but most people I know, when it comes to keeping up with the latest iPhones and things, which is nowhere near as big of a deal as it used to be growing up. But I would still say people prefer to stick in the Pro Max range. I rarely see people, when it comes to their personal phones, not like their work phones, but their personal phones, they usually stick to the Pro or Pro Max. They usually try to go as high as they can, but also suits their needs at the same time. And of course, financially, that fits. So again, the main thing that's contributing to the decrease in the sales compared to the last release of iPhones is the delayed rollout of Apple Intelligence, which is supposed to be Apple's proprietary AI, not service, but let's just say feature. I don't know if they plan on keeping Siri integrated into the phones. I doubt it. I'm assuming AI, Apple Intelligence, is meant to completely replace it. If that's the case, then if you already have the iPhone 16, then you may be operating without a Siri feature. If that's a big deal to you, to me, it's not, mainly because my Siri hasn't worked in quite some time. At least not when it comes to calling out to it. I have to hold the buttons and it'll come up. But the whole thing was like, hey, Siri, it doesn't do that anymore. So maybe that's why to me it don't matter. It was also supposed to revolutionize user interaction, which I was wondering about this. It seemed like the Apple Intelligence features that we were supposed to get were supposed to be somewhat of a turning point for Apple, not only when it comes to its phone product line, but just for all of its products in general. Because then they can integrate it into their MacBooks, their Mac Minis in different ways if they're able to, stuff like that. So it seemed like it could have served as a turning point for Apple at large, and they already screwed up just getting the features developed and properly in place for the phones. So it's still, I think it's ultimately because it's Apple, so I think it's still going to end up being like a big win when it comes down to it. But in the short term, it's been nothing but a big L. On top of that, apparently there's fierce competition when you're looking for or looking at international companies, particularly in China, where there are, I don't know how to say these guys' name. They have like this rival company. They also make phones and stuff. I've seen their name. I don't even want to attempt the name. We know it's not Hawaii, but it's Huawei. I don't know, but I'm sure y'all know. They also create their own phones, their own computer systems, what have you. Now, one thing I didn't know, apparently that company created the world's first trifold smartphone. That's interesting, especially with, I think Motorola is the one that came out with the bifold, like the kind of old-fashioned phones where you fold to close it and turn it off and stuff, but it also still has that little small screen. Motorola did that recently, I think within the last few years. So for this company to already jump ahead to trifold is interesting. I don't know if I would use that, but it's interesting. In addition, apparently the global economy is slowing down. Maybe the layoffs and things have something to do with this. But Apple's market share is dropping, not only in the States, but internationally. So you have a few different reasons here that are contributing to the decline in the sales of their latest iPhone. One, they have to resolve it in-house because the main feature that was supposed to push it forward, we don't have it. Two, I would say more on the cause and effect. There's more on the effect side of things. Maybe because the sales have declined in general, in addition to them taking a hit to their name because they didn't provide the main service that was supposed to be a game changer. Now, in the global economy as well as the local or national economy, they're not doing so high, and their stock prices are starting to drop. And other competitive brands in the same realm, but mainly in China, so overseas, are coming up with new innovations that may end up stealing people's attention, assuming they don't care to be stuck or be out of the Apple ecosystem. Whereas, like people like me, I prefer to be in it because it's just very seamless. But for people who don't mind breaking that, that seems to be a growing idea, who knows? Apple might start to see some people walk away from the brand soon enough. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave that video here, guys. If you have any comments, suggestions, feedback, anything like that for me, share that with me in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.